Freiburg still yet to actually go for any kind of aggression. He's still just holding towards these mid doors, but as there's a little bit of presence towards the B site, he's going to start the rotation, and Forest, there's the first headshot.
Well, that's an opening, and now with a man advantage, let's see if Dignitas are able to trade Freiburg. He's going to try and get the next 10. Sorry, if Sprout can trade, just seen that Sprout, of course, on that CT side, and of course, as the bit of damage is done, Faven falls, and with Heap doubling down on the Slacks as well, it's all on Dennis alone in a 1 versus 4. What good can he hope to do? And for Sprout, looks like not much. Freiburg comes out on top, and even though it says round winner Sprout, there's actually Dignitas who take the lead 1-0. And for Slacks, he'll try and negate that with this sort of scoped in towards mid. But no one's spotted out just yet, though. We see long control go out now, and with Creasy just shutting down Letcrow instantly. We'll try to regress. The perfect flashes by Spiddy means that Heap also falls. And it's sort from Halzerk. What good can it do? Good for 1. He's actually been able to double up as well as he shuts down Favored elsewhere, putting it down into a 3-on-2. And as the aggression comes down from Sprout towards A. Oh, we got Spiddy and Cressy. Got it.
But he's not English, he's German, and in German, I don't know. We do, and we've just said it to what, 1,000 people, 2,000 people.
We've got 3.4 watching it now, so.
Oh right, okay.
We got to beat him to it.
Still our idea, please, folks.
Let's see Freiburg. He'll make his way towards mid, just making sure that no one's caught out just yet. And with this aggression on towards B, it's perfect. Freiburg with 2 quick kills means that Sprout have to reaggress elsewhere, well, anywhere other than B. And frankly, that's an impossible task considering that with the aggression up towards short, Slacks is about to fall. The second Letcrow gets into position to shoot. Does just that. Now for Spiddy and Cressy, what can they hope to do, Josh? I think it might be a matter of just saving.
Wow, this is not a good round at all from Sprout. Of course, they won the last, and then what was a shaky force by here from Dignitas has actually prevailed quite nicely.
You're absolutely right. And honestly, I'm really curious to see who's able to come out on top when it comes to this next attack of Sprout, because I think they could probably just justify a bye next round. And even though Cressy fought a beautiful shot from Halzerk, actually is able to upgrade to the AWP. We butcher most of the ones we attempt, most of the foreign words we attempt, don't we, Josh? But you see Dignitas having to defend long. Dennis, he deletes Heap there. Beautiful shot. Halzerk, he tries aggression, but this time Slacks is ready for it. And this is a really clean execution from Sprout, looking to hit this position on A, but it's a fast back from Letcrow. He pulls ahead, Cressy falls, and the trade not there by his teammate of Spiddy, who again has no choice but to try to swing forward. Dennis is the one to finish the job, but with Forrest's kill to Faven, that's the bomb in no man's land, and now that is a very, very strong spot to be in for Dignitas. Well, Dennis onto Forrest leaves it all on Freiburg, alone in the 1 versus 3. Good for 1. He too is taken down. And for Sprout, they finally make it 2, and considering they've been able to restore this round,
push towards the B site, I think, here for Sprout, as we see Speedy come in through the mid doors, taking this control, wrapping around. This is going to be that pivot point that they're going to play off of.
It very much will be. There's Letcrow good for 1. Spiddy to trade. Definitely puts it into hot congestion, but Cressy, that's a beautiful shot to Freiburg. And that follow-up kill to Freiburg single-handedly negates Dignitas' chance at all.
Losing out and being like, it's okay, like we've lost the rounds, but we've done some damage, and when we go into the bye, we'll turn it around. It was looking worrying, and yeah, as you say, they just recovered it really, really nicely. It looks like they're actually going to peek into pit here as well. And
I believe he's accompanied by Heap there. It's going to be a lot of trouble for them, especially with Faven going down so low on HP. A well-timed push is everything. Halzerk, the molly forces him away, but that won't actually keep him away. Dennis falls, the nade finishes off Faven. Now as the flashes go out, Heap's in a lot of trouble as the follow-up flash allows Slacks to be taken down. And Dignitas, they've responded to short control perfectly. Maybe overextend to Hunt, but with a double-up setup, they'll be more than happy to keep everyone alive themselves.
And as he gets flashed off the angle, he'll deploy the smoke, but he should know exactly where these members are.
We see the push go through. Forrest able to trade on the Faven, puts it down to a 4-on-3, and even then, Forrest alone towards B is doing such a good job at holding Sprout. They're almost scared to push through the smoke. There's the flash, there's the push. Trade there from Forrest once again. Slacks eventually finishes the job, but with Spinny onto Heap, puts it down on a 2-on-2. The regression of Letcrow is something to fear, but Slacks comes out on top. That's a beautiful shot. And now Halzerk alone in a 1 versus 2. He's got no choice but to try and shift through the smoke over towards door. AWP in hand, he might try and catch the odd player off by surprise. Good for 1, Spinny to trade, and it's a beautiful recovery for Sprout there to make it a 6-5 in what was a 4-on-2 situation.
Well, as Speedy starts to push his way up towards long here, and there's that aggression from B tunnels. And with these two members going all the way up and not spotting out anything, they can confirm this is going to be an A here. But with 30 seconds left on the clock and all of the A util flying over, it's kind of no surprise here. He does a lot of damage through that smoke, but he can only find 1 kill before being traded. It's a 4-on-4, but look at the damage done to Sprout. Cressy doesn't care. He's continuing to find the frags, and the Slacks finds another. This might just fall away from Dignitas.
If Halzok fallen there, that would have been horrifically one-sided. However, Forrest he falls to Cressy. Cressy goes to the jump shot as well before Dennis finishes the job. So Sprouts, they just sprung to life there. And Slacks, no one caught out just yet, but Cressy, he needs to be careful as Heap seems acutely aware that a player could be towards blue. Cressy peeks out, Heap deletes him there. And now as the util goes flying, Sprout get ready to just make up for the attack with a complete push-up from short. Halzok carrying towards center site, though. He really has been a staple player for Dignitas. Can he show why? Well, fully blinded. There's Speedy to full. Over Aggressy doubles up as well here. Looks to make it 3. Peeking into Stacks is absolutely perfect. And with Dennis falling to Forest, it'll be a 6th for Dignitas as they pull themselves ahead. And they show us that Dennis jumps up onto Xbox, so he might potentially have a bit of a flank on these Dignitas members as they barrel their way forward onto Slacks. They shut him down. And now Dennis, it's all about timing. He spots out these members. He's caught out. And now with Slacks also being dinked down, suddenly Dignitas in a really strong position as they spot out the rotation. Forest barrels his way forward. He catches out Slacks. That's the site in control. And now Cressy alone in a 1 versus however many choose to challenge him on long. Faven, a beautiful flash towards mid from Spiddy allows him to shut down Heap in a 3-on-3. The fact Cressy's still alive means that it's going to be a 2-pronged attack. And now as we see this push come forward, Faven, what good can he do?
Well, Slacks needed to go huge on the site, and only being able to find 1 means this retake very, very tricky indeed. Speedy has managed to find himself a kit, and as he goes in through CT, he's aware that they're trying to take short control right now, so he's going to wrap around with his teammate. The bomb, it is planted for these short members, but I think he's just going to try and hold this and let his teammate fight. But with Cressy losing the instant duel, that means that Speedy's just going to have to continue to tap this bomb, and every time he fires off a shot, it's going to confirm that he's not actually committing to the defuse. He taps it 1 more time. Forrest, he'll delay the peak and finally swing out and deal the finishing blow. He knew that there was no time for another fake.
But Crazy, does he know that Forrest was on the other side of the smoke? I think he does. There's the kill. And with there being the equalizer, now Dennis has to go huge towards Goose. He's got the flash from Crazy to help him. There it goes. Then I can now see the reaggressment, but as Cressy just holds firm, he waits for players to peek into him. The smokes make it almost impossible. And with Firebug swinging into Dennis, it's a missed shot. Dennis comes out on top. Hauser instantly there to trade, though. The Spinny reaggressing forward. There's the kill as Electro, who was looking for a gun. Now Hauser in the smoke, finished off by Faven. All on Heap, dinked down in an afterpart situation. The Eagles good for 1, but not 2. Sprout, they recover beautifully, and they take the round 10-9. The fact he's changed his mind halfway through is actually really risky, but he's able to hide behind Xbox as the flashes go down. Heap's the first to fall. He'll look to try and trade, but the flashes are just perfect to keep him back. Freiburg swung on. The nade finishes Freiburg as Halzok trades. And now Dennis flashed into this site, drops down, hiding back site, spots out Letcrow. It's so messy on the spray. He falls. Trade not quite there. Halzok jumping up is going to make sure that window is just unavailable, and is still going for this plant. Now we see Sprout on this retake. Cressy, he spots out Letcrow, but Letcrow comes out on top. The fact Letcrow's been able to survive this long is always heartbreaking. And for 2 warps to go into a retake, it's almost a impossible task. Forrest, he falls early on. Halzok, he's unable to trade. He also falls, and now Slacks is just a machine. Letcrow on the flank. Does he catch out this diffuser? Well, as Faven taps it, he now needs to get a wiggle on it, but it looks like it's been read perfectly. The defuse comes through. Sprout lead 11-9, and for Slacks, that is a beautiful retake.
Well, Slacks on this angle. This is such a big kill for him to find. And as the smoke goes down, he's actually got a bit of a gap in it, but he can't connect, nor can anybody. As this gap, it's still there, and there's still members to cross. That's a huge kill from Dennis, though. Denies the plant. Now he can hold it, wait for the next members to try and go up and retrieve it. Secondary hits while burning alive in the flames. He will eventually fall, and as Forrest doubles up, it's now on Slacks and Faven, both with the AWPs to make this happen. But as the first falls, it's all on Faven's shoulders.
Forrest is going huge right now. He's in a 1 versus 2, and, well, for Faven, he's got no choice but to back away. I think it wouldn't surprise me, actually. And he might be even able to kill Faven here, who's caught out. Forrest to 4K as he goes 19-9, showing he still has that flair.
They start to group up towards these doors, though. If they walk through, surely they get to right from Faven here. He's spotted the barrels. He can pre-fire, spamming away. He's done so much damage. He pulled out the smoke, but it doesn't matter. Dennis is here to support. He can swap out to one of the AKs and continue to blast through the wood. And whilst the spams, they're close, they're just not quite connecting. you look at this economy from Sprout, they've got no money. So holding on to all of these weapons, especially those AKs, which
and you say here now, Slacks, they'll hear this util go down. Slacks ready for the re-aggression. He spots out the first member. Freiburg taken out of mid-air, plucked from the game like a god from above. But Cruzy, he's able to respond. Heap proves that Slacks is still mortal. And with that quick little kill, it goes down to a 3-on-5. Aggression from long comes from Crazy, who does so much damage before he falls. Favored lines up the 3K there. Beautiful stuff. And a 13-11 lead for Sprout.
Holding from the back of this B side. It's actually going to deploy the smoke just to run down this clock even further. Forest made his presence known on shore. Might be a bit of a fake, but it's not going to rotate any members over, especially as they've been spotted over towards B. But this is where Faven's challenged. He can only find himself one there as they swing together. Forest, what a headshot to find. If he can find another, then it cements the round. But even without it, well, I'm not even sure if they're going to be able to hold on to these rifles. Cressy does find himself that first, actually doubles down. He's making this very, very expensive for Dignitas right now. And Halzak just manages to grab that AWP. They would have had loads of money going into this next round regardless, so it doesn't matter all too much.
Now we see long control come out, so they're going to have to try and battle Crazy to do so. But Crazy on the angle, spots out the first member. It's messy for that kill. Freiburg punishes, and with that, Slacks down. The last man left standing to try and hold. Spots out the first. He realizes that Halzak will be scoped in on him, so the flash helps him. But if he repeats, Halzak and Freiburg both find kills, putting it down to 2-on-2. And the spinning on that re-aggression for a moment. I thought he was about to throw the round by peeking into an AWP, but he comes out on top. It all comes down to timing, but Halzak, he's won that timing. Missed shot from either side. The re-aggressment, though, from Faven is punished. And now as Halzak barrels his way forward, Sprout have definitely got to hold. Let to Crazy. And once again, it looks like Deagle's going to be able to do it. Halzak comes out on top. Halzak goes huge. And for Sprout, it's all on Slacks, who's got to save. Josh, how is Sprout losing these rounds?
Well, they still lost it. I don't know. I honestly don't understand. But either way, they're hunting hard for Slacks' AWP. The flash there, it doesn't work out at all. That's a big mistake to make. But finally, Forest can re-aggress, and he does find the shot with the flying Deagle. So a full eco for Sprout Dignitas. This is going to be map point for them, and this is on their opponent's pick as well. Freiburg, he's found the opener. He follows up. This is just perfect. Up against these pistols, they're not taking any damage, and given the fact that they don't have too much cash, that's brilliant for them. As Dennis does satch away an AK, I can't imagine he'll be able to keep it, as he's spotted out in middle. He throws that smoke, but I'm not sure if that's going to do all too much for him, as he's already pushing through it. He's already looking like he wants to take this fight. Dennis, he's going to be challenged to try and hold on to this. But Dignitas have to be careful that they don't lose too many members on the hunt here. Remember, they don't have too much cash to work with. And Letcro, the insurance policy from behind, will be able to take him out. It's 15-14. Worst case scenario is overtime here for Dignitas.
As these flashes go down, it's just a straight execute. And as Dennis swings wide from window, he's spotted out. He's got to hide. Spiddy does the same. Just taking extension towards barrels. There's Heat for one, Letcro for the other. And you may have predicted correctly, Josh. Through the smoke, Faven also falls. Saxon Creasy, the last two members left standing. They've got no choice but to try and go for this retake. And with a Scout and M4, this needs to be something horrifically bad for Dignitas to lose this. Sprouts, they shift their way forward. There's no flashes to even give like a masterful hero flash. The molly goes down onto Halzak. The nade forces him out of position, but it doesn't matter. Crazy go through the smoke. He hides in his own. He gets ready to go for the timing play, but even then, what good can Halzak do? Here goes the timing. Letcro falls, turns around, Forest onto another. Crazy now in a 1-versus-4. Good for yet one more before he too falls. And Dignitas, they take map 1, 16-14. 2021. We're here in the European Regional, and we've got Sprout versus Dignitas. We saw Dignitas take map 1, 16-14. We now move to Dignitas' own map pick of Nuke, Sprout's best map ever. And to get things underway, Forest is going to execute his teammate. Letcro falls, and well, with a bomb forward towards heaven, let's see if Slacks is able to kind of capitalize on that. Heat falls, will try and double down onto Halzak as well, with Faven shutting down Forest, and as Faven finishes the job, it's all on Freiburg. He's executed by Faven yet again. Faven with a 3K and Sprout with a first.
He's completely unaware of where he's even died from there. That's beautiful.
That AUG does a lot of damage though. Dennis, he trades, and the Scout, while it's good, it's not that good. Letcro gets the next set in the matter. It's a back and forth with Faven aggressing from heaven. He's got Freiburg to worry about over towards CT, and for good reason. Freiburg, he'll look to try and launch a bit of a counter attack up towards heaven. Faven spots it out, and Freiburg, as everyone knows on the ladder, you don't have any accuracy whatsoever. For Sprout, this early util means that an event dive, while it is possible, and while he was been able to do so, he doesn't have the bomb, and it means that for Crazy, he needs to be very careful. Well, Necro falls. There you go. That's the only one with the AK is the guy who falls. Look how much damage that nade does as well. And this AG of Grezzy is doing so much damage.
The only thing I feel makes this a little more viable is last time around, there was no one else with Kevlar. So going for that hero AK, once Lekro was dead, that was kind of it. Whereas everyone else has got armor now, so whoever picks it up does bear some teeth. However, they do still fall to the AUGs, and if it's not Faven, it's Speedy. Swings out from heaven, finishes off the job, and Dignitas, considering that was a force bite, they've only managed to find 2 kills, no bomb plant. It's not a very successful round at all.
Dignitas, they have a really weak T side. Their Reliance is on their CT side. Sprout, they're consistently good on both. So for Dignitas, if they're able to maybe get 4 or 5 rounds, they'll be happy. But even then, they're at this rate, going to be hard pressed for even that. Sax is aggressive towards outside. It is 3-on-3. Freiburg's the one who kind of hovers around these smokes, get ready to catch out the odd member. But even then, as he shifts back down towards Garage, Freiburg, he should be able to ring true. It's actually favored onto Heap to get the first kill. And with that, Dignitas, they go down a player once again. However, with Sax on low HP, this is very doable for them.
Dignitas are going to be very challenged as soon as they make any noise. Remember, to get onto this B site, they have to make noise. They either have to open a door or break a window. Yep. It's the former, but Freiburg somehow wins the duel, and through the smoke, they're going to get this bomb down, and now they're in a 2v2, and a very winnable one at that.
Sax got to Freiburg. That's a beautiful shot. Halzerk now left alone in a 1 versus 2 as he gets ready to just cower towards the vents. Halzerk, he's had a fairly quiet start of this game, but he hasn't really had an AWP at all, so I still think he could be a bit scary, and because he's just completely danced around Slacks there, it's a beautiful recovery as Slacks falls. Now Faven in a 1v1. What good can he do? He's got a molly to help out. He's got that deployed early towards double doors. This forces Halzerk forward towards control. And from control, he spots out Faven. He looks to go back and hide. He's got a molly of his own for this bomb. But as that bomb is tapped once more, he'll swing wide. He misses the shots, but he's out of time. Dignitas, they find their first round. The Sprouts, they're able to save the AWP, though, as a silvered lining.
Yeah, he's watching the edge of that smoke, hoping there's a little gap there. Maybe he saw the legs and didn't want to fire through. I'm not sure. Either way, whether they have the information or not, Dennis is there, and that is a beautiful opening headshot. And I love the fact that he doesn't fight any further either. Falls away, waits for the support to come in from Ram. Then he can get this crossfire established. Forrest and Freiburg do even out the numbers back into a 3-on-3. But with Freiburg on such low health, there we go. He saves it. He gets himself a kill. But in the meantime, Slacks gets another. Faven gets one more, and Slacks finishes off the job. A beautiful shot there onto Forrest to finish out the round.
With a shaky bite coming out now, Dignitas with fast outside smokes barrel their way towards A, and this might be that fast hit we see.
Well, Faven on the other side of this smoke, fully blinded, he sprays away, he does a fair amount of damage, and he actually goes back up the ladder. That's the biggest mistake he makes in that round, because as soon as he darts his way back up, he makes loads of noise, and Dignitas are able to pre-fire. They're on a half buy here, and they have pulled this one out of the bag. The flashbangs.
It's okay. We look over to Dignitas. They make it. They save that AK. They save that up, so it does help them. It is that silver lining. And for Dignitas, again, they just need 4 or 5 rounds just to tick them through because they have such a reliance on their CT side. They've got to give it at least a foundation to work off.
I think we all said it was going to be a 2-0 to Sprout, so
yeah, we
under the bus there.
I can't give my prediction. I can't ask myself a prediction. I need to ask you, and then you throw it back to me.
Fine, but you said earlier it was going to be a 2-0 Sprout.
I thought it'd be a stomp. I thought it'd be a stomp.
We all did, yeah. And Dignitas, they've really quite nicely proved us wrong. So we do find ourselves in a position where Heat is called upon to clutch right now, and in this 2 versus 1, a minute 15 on this clock, he should be able to quite comfortably get down to this B site and get this bomb planted without contention. So it gives us a few seconds, Grandman. Actually, maybe it doesn't. Swinging towards the squeaky door. Yeah, Heap will be eliminated. Dennis does time that one out quite nicely, and Sprout, they do take it to 7, so they are recovering this.
Yeah, it's actually funny how I rarely see the odds turn out to be wrong, and it's interesting to see, really is. But we look over to Dignitas now, who buy up as best they can, having actually been ecoed there, we didn't quite see, and at 7-3 down, we see aggression from Spinny, good for 1 before he's traded out by Halzerk, and because of the mollies, it means that Sprout can't re-aggress from heaven, but with Faven already in vents and with Dennis already on single door, Sprout there are really well equipped to try and defend this site, and as Dennis just tries to draw their attention away, Faven's going to go for the element of surprise. He's mollied out of position, but he's mollied forward rather than backwards. Heap punishes that. Heap doubles down onto Dennis as well, and in a 4-on-2, Josh, I think we're going to see Slacks and Creasy just go and save.
Yeah, definitely going to be a save call, but that's whether they can actually go and save or not. Creasy gets a bullet straight to the head, and Slacks now in a 1-on-4 will just fall away and save this AWP. And by the looks of things, he should be able to do so. new talented rosters that come together and have a bit of a honeymoon period, there's always those kind of upsets. We just weren't expecting to see it.
You could have said it better myself. It's interesting to see who's going to be the man to Sprout. They don't really have too much of a defense. Heap flanking on lobby as well. Favor needs to go absolutely huge here, otherwise he's in a lot of trouble. And as Dennis is just almost mollies to death, there's Favor to full. The U2 usage is absolutely perfect as Heap comes into the flank, and that is a very clean execution from Dignitas.
I think Krezi and Spiddy right now will be pretty disappointed that they weren't able to get back into this one. But with it, Dignitas will be able to take 6. So a 7-6 scoreline, I think that kind of tailors towards an 8-7. I'm not sure which way that's going to go. Still, beautiful shot. And as they've given up this ramp control, I love the way Dignitas are playing this. They know that they've given up towards Hut and they've given up this kind of A main control. So they're just holding from behind in ramp. They know what they have, they know what they've lost, and they're fully aware of what they need to watch. And as Lecro's coming in on the flank here from Team Main, he might actually be able to take out Faven, who's just behind this vent. It all comes down to timing, it comes down to what he clears. He should have spotted the member on site, but no, he hasn't reacted to it.
Well, there's Krezi good for one as well as Faven being good for another. There's the trade eventually onto Krezi. That'll stop him, but Faven's still alive. Means he's still showing presence as he gets ready to go above for this smoke. It's a nice kill onto Forest, putting it down to a 2-on-2. A beautiful recovery now as Freiburg responds onto Spiddy. Faven now on for a 4K if he wants to win this with only 28 HP remaining. Well, he might be able to tap that bomb once he does just that. He looks to stick it, and as he holds it, Freiburg will just execute him. It's going to be 8-7. Dignitas leading at the end of the half in what has turned out to be a very...
Well, I suppose it could be a little bit worse for them. An 8-7 half's not terrible, but still not great at all. And as they come into this pistol, and it's an important round for them to pick up, and as they dart towards this A site, they don't get off to very much early success.
They don't indeed, and as we see, just back and forth kills. It's down to Spiddy, the last man left standing, alone in a 1 versus 3. He cowers over towards Mini. He's almost scared to push his way in, and if he dares do so, then he's going to be executed by these Dignitas members who have spotted him out. He's good for Freiburg. He still fights back, but he's got 2 more to worry about. Lecro on no HP still needs to be careful, and I think because they are being, but even then, Josh, I doubt we'll see it. Oh.
He gets to think, though. That makes this very doable, but taking some damage from those USPs, and the second that Forrest swings and gets him with the body shot, because they have control elsewhere, and he's still in this aggressive angle towards the vending machines, and there we go. Swings right out, finds himself a headshot on the back, and they're going to go for the hyper aggression off of it. That's brilliant.
It absolutely is. 3 quick kills, and now for Dennis and Spiddy, our 2 members of standing have got to barrel their way in through Mini into the awaiting arms of Forrest, who will deliver them to death's door. Dignitas, they win their bonus, they convert it, and with an 11th, they force Sprout into an awful position. Absolutely right, and for Sprout, as they just launch a few smokes here or there, I think they're going to try and just bomb it out away. They run through these mollies, they can take a lot of damage for it, and the Freiburg and Forest show just wipe Greasy. There's the flash that allows them to push forward right into the awaiting arms of Halzerk, who's good for 1 as he backs away. Heap will be there to assist. Slacks needs to be careful as he falls, as does Dennis. It's all on Faven, alone in a 1 versus 5, and as he tries to just outmaneuver his opponents, we'll see Faven tease a peek towards ramp, trying to catch out the odd member wherever possible, and as he pushes his way forward, now will he be able to catch out the odd member? No, he won't. He comes out on top. We see Dignitas with a 30-7 lead and a complete shutdown.
This is not something we see very often.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike is kind of one of these games, especially at the tier 2, tier 3 scene, where it's all just quite predictable. It's very easy to say, yeah, these guys are the favorites. They're probably going to win the series. We don't necessarily know the map count and things like that. We don't necessarily know the score, but we can often have a rough idea of the outcome. Whereas today, it's been the complete opposite. And as Forrest doubles down onto the pistols, there's no opportunity here for the 1 plant on the B site. This is just a rock-solid hold.
It absolutely is, and for Creasy, the last man left standing, alone in a 1 versus 3, what can he hope to do here, Josh? He's just going to cower over towards this back line, and yeah, he might be able to peek up towards control. Yes, he might be able to catch out the odd member, but the reality is he's going to have to try and really prevail. And, well, it's a nice angle on him. Sure, he gets the first kill. Halzerg re-aggresses, and now Halzerg being pressured down. And Greasy's just going to push straight into him. And as the odd flash goes down, with 30 seconds left, sure, this second kill is going to be perfect, but he needs to get this bomb planted. And in a 1 versus 1 against Letcrow, he has no clue where the player could possibly be. And Letcrow, he's over to a single door. He's got control of this bomb, and Crazy, he's just got to peek into him. He'll drop down, he'll swing forward. Letcrow comes out on top. It's 14 for Dignitas, and a flawless CT side so far. As we get ready for this attack, let's see who's able to come out on top, at least with this push coming through. When honestly, as we see this push coming through, Letcrow for 2 quick kills. It's down to Sprout. Have 2 players left once again. Sure, Faven kills Heap, but what does it matter, Josh? What does it matter? It isn't working. It just isn't. And Sprout, they're just right now being pummeled.
They really are, yeah. This is not going well for them at all. As Faven and Speedy left in a 2 versus 4. There's a minute 10 on this clock. They've got the bomb. They've got some time. They've got a molly to work with, and they've got some guns. So there's definitely lifelines here for them, but very, very unlikely. As they start to work their way towards Hut, Freiburg's going to be on this side. He's got support from Forest, who's going to swing Squeaky Door, find the kill onto Speedy. It all falls onto Faven's shoulders now to try and prevent Dignitas from getting onto map point and try and keep his team in this. If they lose this round, they won't have any money to work with. A beautiful headshot there onto Freiburg, but as he walks out, he's not expecting Forest up top, and it will be 15 here for Dignitas. Yeah, I mean, I like the approach here from Sprout. They're trying to play a little more disciplined. They're trying to play this one a bit slower, but as they work out towards this A site, Letcrow's there to spam them away, and right through that smoke, they'll take the man advantage. Dennis can find one back, but as Forest responds, Slacks gets a team kill. That's not the time you want to see one of those.
Oh boy.
This is looking like they should just be able to close this one out, and Speedy, as soon as he falls, that should be it. 2 members on the site, the Molotov in place, and as soon as he's funneled into this left-hand side, he does find himself that first, but Holzak on the angle, the flash, it's perfect. They should be able to pincer him in here, and there we go. Heap on the flank, the Tech 9, in fact, it's not even a Tech 9, it's a Deagle to finish off the job, and it's going to be a very, very dominant win there for Dignitas, and look at that, Freiburg dancing.